The Faceless were not going to let the GSF win, not after breaking the 20th Fleet, shattering the orbital defenses, and gutting the garrison fleet 1 month earlier. If the shipyards were still biting back, then the sky would be drowned in wings. The commander called down his carriers. One after another, they pushed into the upper air like moving fortresses, their bays opening as if the clouds themselves were splitting. Then they launched everything, starfighters and bombers pouring out in a living flood until the sky seemed to darken beneath their numbers. The GSF atmospheric fighters couldn't break off. They were already locked in close, bleeding airspace around the dreadnought and the escort ring. They saw the new contacts arrive and couldn't reach them in time. The AA grid and the remaining docked warships tried to engage. What guns could pivot did, tracers and missiles clawing upward. But the volume was too great. Too many targets, too many angles. Faceless bombers hammered the air defenses. Battery sites vanished under rolling blasts. Crew pits caved in. Radar towers snapped and burned. The sky above the shipyards began to open for the enemy. Then the bombers turned on the docked ships. Rockets slammed into hull plating. Bombs walked across scaffolds and gantries. Fires crawled into munitions compartments. And the shipyard shook with fresh detonations. Up to that point, GSF bombers had enjoyed clear runs. Now they were hunted. Faceless reinforcements swarmed them in tight packs, ripping into their tails, forcing drops, scattering formations, turning precision strikes into desperate escapes. On the ground, the GSF began to give ground, not from collapse, but calculation. If the air defenses and shipyards fell completely, the planet would lose its teeth. So units pulled back in fighting retreats to tighter, more defensible positions. GSF artillery pivoted skyward again, becoming anti-ship guns, aiming at the hovering carriers and warships that dared to hang in atmosphere. And the true AA guns switched targets, chasing starfighters and bombers with frantic precision, trying to keep the line alive long enough for the defenders to reset the battlefield. The advantage was slipping, second by second. The Faceless flooded the air. The GSF bent but did not break, retreating, re-aiming, reloading, fighting not for ground but for time because time was the last weapon they still controlled.